Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for June 23rd to the 29th of 2024. So our quote for the week says, develop your vision into a purposeful and profitable plan, and then create a blueprint for flexibility, freedom, and fun. These things are sorely missed at the moment, and we need them worked into our regular plan. Our regular schedules, our regular rhythms need to include some flexibility, freedom, and fun. Deep breath. So before I get into the forecast, this is not technically the last call because you can register after a week or two in the Astro 101 class. There are replays and you can totally catch up, but I like to get you registered early because there's a bunch of custom goodies that I make for you and that I ship snail mail. So the crew who's already registered, your goodies are going in the mail no later than Monday. So you should have them in plenty of time for our first class, which is Tuesday, July 2nd. This class I do Tuesday evening, 7 to 9 Eastern, which makes that 4 to 6 Pacific. And like I said, they are recorded. It's 8 weeks for $333. Get all these custom goodies and you learn about astrology through your own blueprint, through your own chart. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope you will consider joining us. Our first activation falls on Wednesday, the 26th, with Mercury trining Saturn. Now, already at a glance, this week is a little easier. We've got some opportunities and blessings, and then Saturn going backwards to help us review. So we'll get into that too. First things first, Mercury trining Saturn. This energy is good for deep thinking. You are sharp and your standards are high because you are in strategy mode. This is a more solitary energy though, so communications with others may be hampered a bit because it's actually time for you to hold your own at some new level. It's time to focus on the details that hold the big dream together, all the little things that make the grand vision work. Some folks respect that attention to detail, while others may consider it nitpicky. But it is what the energy supports. Mercury's all about the details, and Saturn wants things done right the first time. So that's kind of the vibe here. That's what this energy supports at this time. So don't worry if others don't understand what you're going through. By the same token, you may also feel a little overwhelmed by the many little things that cannot be denied or delayed, and thus a sense of urgency to get it all done. I am definitely feeling that with these classes. I got 2 classes with Yay ending and my Astro 101 starting. And then it won't be but a minute before she circles back like, are we going to do this? And we'll have some more things. Beware of a tendency toward pessimism, depression, or overwhelm. That would be Saturn. Try to stay focused on all the blessings that you do have and all that you have accomplished instead of what's still on the list of things to do in life. This energy is not intended to make you feel bad about all the things left yet to do, but encourage you to begin the necessary steps for manifesting your dreams. This energy just makes you focus on the practical side of manifesting. Clear the debris and begin to lay a new, clean, solid foundation beneath your goals. Saturn gets you present to the necessary steps, and Mercury helps you think clearly. So, deep breath. We like this ease and grace, but it does indicate that you need to be self-focused this week. Venus is about your values, hooking up with Mars, how you get anything done. And after Mercury taps Saturn, it's going to tap Uranus. So if we can get organized in one way, we could be free in another way. That was Wednesday the 26th. The 27th is the next Venus circle. We are on the inner initiation, so we're still very early in the reclamation process. If anyone is still looking to get their reading and custom guide, that will serve you all the way through March of 2025 before the new cycle starts on the Pisces-Aries cusp. So I got a whole lot of you babies. I hope that will join the Venus circle for that one because it's going to be very personal. This inner initiation is in Cancer, and we're reclaiming the goddess archetype. Our call is at Thursday, the 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's a subscription for $25 a month, but you're welcome to drop in whenever you feel called, or if the sign or the chakra is important to you, that's a good time to drop into the Venus circle. When you want to work on your relationships and finances, it's a good time to drop into the Venus circle. So lots of ongoing support around here. Then Friday the 28th, Venus is going to sextile Mars, which is an opportunity. This energy fosters a harmonious blend between self-awareness and engaging with others. It encourages exploration, welcoming new experiences and connections whenever possible. Such an energy fosters a delightful atmosphere, balancing both masculine and feminine energies. fostering a harmonious interaction between self and others. It is an opportune moment for creativity, so pay attention to any inspirations that surface, even if immediate implementation isn't feasible. This vibrant and joyful energy promotes sociability, so take the chance to have some fun and socialize. There is a potential to draw someone into your life during this phase because magnetism is activated. Engaging with fresh, forward-thinking ventures or individuals aligns perfectly with this positive energy. Overall, it is an incredibly uplifting period. So, anytime the masculine and feminine get together in an opportunity, that means the elements are blending well and complement each other, which means our giving and receiving, our doing and being are all in sync, let's say, or in rhythm. And Saturday the 29th is Mercury sextiling Uranus. This energy encourages embracing change and doing things in a new and different way as you adjust to the new normal for right now. Okay, deep breath. That's happening to everybody. No one is exempt. This is an opportunity to gain traction with your ideas, navigate positive shifts, and shake things up in a beneficial manner. Okay, not a destructive manner. We want to have some benefits from this shakeup and changes. However, if the idea of new and different feels overwhelming and chaotic rather than uplifting and invigorating, it may signal a need for introspection to assess any mental rigidity or holding on to old ideas that have run their course. Resisting the current change could exacerbate challenges associated with this energy, like being scattered and indecisive. Now is also an opportune moment to address recurring issues or long-standing obstacles, as ignoring them will not lead to their resolution. If you have been stuck in repetitive patterns, consider embracing fresh perspectives and alternative approaches. Be alert to new ideas and choices that may present themselves during this time because of your awakened perspective. Stay open to unexpected opportunities, events, and concepts, and allow space for spontaneous creativity and unusual insights to guide you. Embrace the possibility of veering off your intended or usual path to explore new ideas, rhythms, and environments. Anything to stimulate inspiration and imagination. Yes, because Mercury and Uranus, that's higher mind and lower mind getting together and making some adjustments here. It's an opportunity to gain some traction in your consciousness and the evolution that's happening right now. So we love this. Same day, Saturn goes retrograde until November 15th. Now we have some bullets list of light and shadow for Saturn moving through Pisces, which it does for about 2.5 years, which means we get 2 retrogrades or so to work it out. We are in the second one because it is quickly moving toward Aries, y'all. So let's do everything we can here because it's going to be a whole new ball game when it hits Aries in 25. There'll be some back and forth. It doesn't sink in permanently until February of 26. But next year's retrograde is going to be off the chain. For now, let's look at our spiritual self-mastery and creating practices, which I've been talking about. Manifest the vision and imagine a better reality. Intuition, empathy, and psychic ability are improved with Saturn in Pisces. Being of service to others while providing for and protecting self, critically important. Altruism, community outreach, and charity. New and improved boundaries and protections. We're all getting an upgrade there. And it's going to be necessary to go forward into Aries to be able to stand on your own. You're going to need a good foundation and good boundaries. And an extremely strong relationship with your spirit team. Intentional solitude in nature is the answer right now. When it gets to Aries, movement and activity, and I know some of y'all don't like that, but it's going to be so good for us to get back in our bodies once it hits Aries. So right now we're still dreaming, we're still in the womb, we're still developing the vision, but we're going to have to act on it in the next couple of years. So let's do what we got to do to get ourselves together. New rhythms and better routines is part of that. Art, creativity, photography, and new mediums of expression. We are seeing that everywhere. So much creativity is popping off right now, coming through all of you, all my students and clients and friends and family. Everybody's expanding in this way, being able to express in different ways that are hopefully more creative. And of course, any sanctuary, sanctification, and sacred space, making things sacred is really important here. And like I said, cultivating that relationship with your spirit team. We also got to watch the shadow. Now, the shadow of Saturn in Pisces. Now we got Saturn, which is the planet of fears and doubts already. And then Pisces, which can bring up our irrational fears and our overwhelmed senses. So fears, phobias, and projections are part of the big shadow of what we're having to deal with, whether it's us or other people right now. Victimization and martyrdom, huge. Okay, so let's not fall into these traps of the shadow side of Saturn and Pisces. Giving away your power and authority. Depression, apathy, and pessimism, so easy to slide into these days. We want to do something to shake that up. Self-sabotage, doubt, and insecurity. Judgment, shame, blame, and guilt. Surrender, completion, and endings. Now, that's not a bad thing. We really should be mindful that we can't have these new beginnings without an ending first. Seeing the potential rather than the reality, those rose-colored glasses we know about with Pisces. It's all of them, Pisces, Virgo, and Gemini, Sag, the processors. We can always see the potential in anyone or anything or any situation. But I always tell my people, potential don't pay no bills. We've got to invest in the reality. And Saturn's getting us present to the reality. And you want to get on the ground in your Pisces house where that reality is concerned right now. Again, any preparation you can do, any healing and integration that you can do at this time is going to fortify you for when it hits Aries and it's a whole different vibration. Confusion and overwhelm is part of the shadow here, and extreme sensitivity and lack of adequate boundaries. Again, we're doing a huge once in 30-year upgrade. Huge, very important. So our little description here says, first things first, Saturn does take 28 to 30 years to travel through all 12 signs, spending 2 to 3 years in each sign. Saturn is also known as the Great Teacher, Father Time, or Lord of Karma. Its whole purpose is to teach important lessons, determine healthy limits, and remind you that you are responsible for all of it, who you are, as well as what you create in the world. As Saturn moves through the sky, and thus through each sign, it will activate Saturn lessons for the collective. During the 20th century, Saturn has moved through Pisces back in 1905 to 1908. This is the years it was in Pisces, 1935 to 38, 64 to 67, and 93 to 96. What do you all remember about these years? Because now we're in the 123 to 26 in the 21st century. This is our first one. But if you look at all those years, they preceded pretty big shifts once it hit Aries, okay? And there was a lot of dreaming of a better world during this time, these years, before war hit and jacked up the vision. So let's try to do this differently. You will hear me talk about cycles and patterns and how they repeat throughout our lives and throughout our chart. We kind of have the same things happen over and over and over. But every time a cycle circles back, just like now, from 30 years ago, Saturn in Pisces, back in the 90s, the sky pattern was different. Everything else was in different signs than it is now. We were different. We were around different people in different circumstances. So we get a chance to respond in new ways every time a cycle circles back like this. So you can do a little digging into the history of those times and assess the collective lessons and repetitive patterns, because there are many, 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 many. We are in an unprecedented seed time for our personal, social, and collective lives. Think of Saturn as a teacher guide. Think of Aries through Pisces as the lessons that we all have to learn. And just like any other education, some things will be naturally easier and naturally harder, according to your individual blueprint and disposition. During Pisces, the lessons have to do with your intuition, surrender, integration, and good boundaries. We are completing a 30-year cycle of reality and purpose. Personally, our roles and responsibilities have run a full cycle and should be considered for renewal at this time. Imagine that this is the time to incubate the new vision that you will act on and activate in literal terms when Saturn hits Aries in 2026. So we want to prepare consciously. On the positive side, we can harness our imaginations to think differently and dream bigger, so that we are calling in a new vision for self and humanity, as well as a deeper connection to and reverence for the mystery of life on Earth. We are being called to more awareness and care of our physical bodies, as well as improved spiritual practices and deepened dedication to honoring being a spirit in physical form. We will reset our personal boundaries in social and collective settings and reclaim our power to control the input of information or images into our consciousness. Hello, good morning. Let's reclaim our power to control the input of information or images into our consciousness. This means good boundaries, being more discerning and creative, rather than being lazy and accepting things at face value. Deep breath. On the negative side, the shadow expression of this energy leads to literal insanity, a disconnect from reality because it is too harsh, upsetting, or counter to the vision in our minds. We can lose ourselves in overwhelm of societal and collective crumbling and go down a dark tunnel of victimhood, martyrdom, and judgment. How many people are doing that? Deep breath. When retrograde, we get to redream our reality in some way. Tune in to the higher self and ask for concrete directions on how to proceed. This means that we may have to tweak our spiritual practices during this time to be more effective and meaningful. It's definitely a time to heal and integrate anything blocking or delaying your results and rewards. Once it goes direct, November 15th, we will have an opportunity to move things around to accommodate the evolved vision for the year. Okay, deep breath. Also, I'll throw in this replay of Saturn in Pisces where we spent the whole night on it and did some divinations that I'm sure are great to circle back to. You all should know these are kind of the gifts that keep on giving. Once you hear it again in this different consciousness a little bit later after the fact, because we recorded it last year, it's still relevant, it's still useful, and you will still get some aha moments because, again, every time you listen, you hear something different or it hits you a different way. Now, at the bottom of my blog will be the links for the Karmic Tools affiliate program. Don't forget about that. Lots of you share my links anyway. You might as well get paid. There's a 13% commission on that. We have the summer solstice excerpt. That's only 35 minutes. That covers the energetic support for June 20th to August 6th. So be sure to check that out. And if you want your personal activations of where Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra is for you, then all you have to do is register or shoot me an email. I'm still going to leave in the special lunar update because we're right in the middle of the lunar flip with this Capricorn full moon, solstice full moon. One of the things I've forgotten to mention that is so magical about our solstice full moon, maybe you noticed that the moon was a little low on the horizon moving across the sky. That only happens every 19 years. It's called the moon walking on the land. That's how the indigenous people saw it because it was so close to the horizon. This is more than a supermoon. We get supermoons twice a year. But this is a very rare opportunity for us to realign things in our Cancer Capricorn departments. Check that out when you get a chance, especially if you're a lunar baby and really affected by these moons. The Jupiter and Gemini replay is up and running, good to go if you missed that. I will put in the Cancer articles for the energy of the month and update that as well. June is wolf medicine. I'll be getting July's bear medicine ready to go. And of course, the usual things. The Power Circle subscription is your own activations with all the planets, reports and things that are customized just for you. You get 10% off all my products and classes. There's lots of good bonus material in there. The Lunar Tools supports you throughout the month. And everybody seems to be loving it. That's only $9.99 a month or $99 for the year. A little homage to, oh yeah, me in this marketplace I be playing in. But if you like that individual support, that's what that subscription is good for. And of course, the Astro Tarot reading is my signature reading where it's kind of 2 for 1. We check in on your astro cycles and we do a full 10-card spread on a here and now question. And if you're new to the community, you can always check out the Soul Sisters Circle invitation video. It's only 19 minutes. But it does cover a little bit of my story and the core values that run through all my circles. So I encourage you all to check that out when you get a chance or share it with people you're talking to about me and this work, okay? And that's it for our week. Thank you so much for being part of the community. Thanks for listening. Reach out directly when you need to. Join us when and where you can, and have a fantastic week. This is Callie Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.